This is Rhetta Daniel. She's a attorney. Are you still a member of the Virginia State Bar?
Well, at the moment, I'm suspended. My license is suspended, but I'm a member because being a member of the bar is different than having your license suspended.
Okay. All right. So I like most of the work that Rhetta does, exposing the corruption. I just don't think it goes nearly far enough. And I appreciate she's got some good information. Maybe we can, at the beginning, before we get into how all lawyers are guilty of treason, maybe we can get into Jim Comey and McGuire Woods and Richard Cullen and the weird conflicts of interest with the Trump administration being investigated and having lawyers, almost family, pulling the strings on all sides. Do you have any thoughts on Pence being lawyered up by what's his name from McGuire Woods? His name Cullen, right?
Richard Cullen.
Yeah, and so he represents Pence, the vice president, correct?
As far as I know, from what I've read in the newspaper, I don't know anything. I don't know anything from personal knowledge.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought maybe that you were on top of this one. The fact that there's some pretty big conflicts of interest with Richard Cullen being the with James Comey is the godfather of Richard Cullen's child, right?
I would think that there would be conflicts of interest that need to be explored. There's no question about that in my mind.
Absolutely. Well, that you may not be able to be practicing right now, but that's a very lawyerly response. So I appreciate that.
I can give you, since I don't have any facts to opine with. You know, if I had the facts, then I could opine.
Okay.
I know only what I've read.
The facts to me begin and end with the fact that Jim Comey is the godfather of Richard Cullen's daughter, right? I think it's daughter.
Well, that's what I've read. Do I know if that's actually the truth? No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I presume that if that is not factually true, which I presume it is because I've seen it reported in mainstream media articles, and it would probably be something that's not known to most people, but that there would be some people that would go, hey, yeah, that's true. Yeah, thousands of people know this. Or, hey, thousands of people would know this, and it's definitely not true. So if, in fact, it is true, it's clearly a conflict of interest, but also just how the Bar Association operates in general is always a conflict of interest because the prosecutor and the defense attorney and the arbiter, the so-called judge, they're all members of the same private organization.
No,
so that is always a conflict of interest.
No, not all of them. Because on the bar, on the State Bar Board, and on the district committees, they have lay people who are not lawyers. So not everyone is a member of the Virginia State Bar.
Oh, I'm saying everybody who practices in a court case or any legal maneuver, they all work and they're all part of the same entity. So in other words, one member of the bar works more closely, who is a prosecutor, works more closely to a defense attorney than the defense attorney or the prosecutor do to their clients. There's always a conflict of interest.
No, I don't agree with you. As a defense attorney, I've always worked more closely with my clients than I have with the state bar prosecutors. The prosecutors were my adversaries. My clients.
But you're members of the same organization. You're members of the same organization.
Doesn't make any difference that
yes, it does. It makes all the difference.
Chris, wait a minute. We are forced as lawyers to join the Virginia State Bar. The Virginia State
Exactly.
Bar, wait a minute. The Virginia State Bar is an organization. It is not an agency of the Virginia State of the Commonwealth of Virginia. It's not an agency. If you go under the Commonwealth, the Secretary of the Commonwealth's site.
We've got to stop right there. Hold on.
Wait a minute.
Please. No, because we've got to stop there. The Virginia Supreme Court is controlled by the Virginia State Bar. And the Virginia State Bar is controlled by the Virginia Supreme Court. Yes. Yes.
You're wrong, Chris.
I'm correct.
No, Chris, listen to me a minute. The way the government is organized in Virginia is the judges are controlled by the General Assembly. They're not controlled by the bar because the General Assembly appoints them.
No. All the judges are members of the bar.
I can't explain. I've studied this in depth. Okay.
I've heard the talking points before, but what I'm saying is all judges in Virginia are members of the bar.
No, they're not, Chris.
Really?
They're lawyers, but they're not active members of the bar. They're not under the jurisdiction of the bar.
Wait a second. Wait. Okay, you got to explain something to me very simple then, because hold on, please. Explain this simple thing to me then.
I will.
So I can go into a court of law. I do it, but I can legally go into a court of law and say, I'm a lawyer and not be a member of the bar. And a judge can be a judge and not have ever been a member of the Bar Association?
Not what I'm saying. And I'm not going to let you put words in my mouth. Active lawyers in Virginia are required to be members of the Virginia State Bar. Associate members are required to be members of the Virginia State Bar.
Right.
Judges are not required to be either active or associate members. They have what's called judicial status. They're not under the control of the bar. They're under the control of the JIRC Committee, which is Judicial Inquiry and Review Commission, which is appointed by the Virginia General Assembly, not the State Bar and not the Supreme Court.
I see what you're saying, but one has to be a member of the bar. So one has to be a lawyer in order to be a judge. And then once they're a judge, there is still a part of the Bar Association, but it's some sort of made up, compartmentalized aspect of the Bar Association where somebody can parse words and pretend that they're not members of the bar when they actually are members of the bar. And also, who oversees the Virginia Supreme Court? It's the Virginia State Bar. And who oversees the Virginia?
Chris, it's not.
How is that not the case? I've been told that by Karen Gould.
Not the State Bar. The overseers of the Virginia Supreme Court are the General Assembly and the Judicial Inquiry and Review Commission. I know it sounds crazy because
It doesn't sound crazy. I know, like, you're talking in euphemisms. I'm talking in real fact. Okay, Rhetta, is the government criminal? Is the Virginia State Bar a criminal organization?
I can't say that.
Okay, then you can't say that the Virginia State Bar is. Okay, here's the issue I have with you, Rhetta. I read articles. That no. You let me finish.
No.
Let me finish.
Well, you
let me finish, please.
Let me answer.
And you said no.
I cannot say that the Virginia State Bar as an organization now, not an agency, is criminal. I can say that I am opposed to what the Virginia State Bar does. I'm opposed to what the JIRC Committee doesn't do. And the General Assembly is in charge of all of that.
All right, Rhetta. I've got this in response to that. I've read articles that you have written verifying the fact that the Virginia State Bar is criminal, i.e., crimes taking place, shameless, dishonorable crimes, and then that's one crime. And then the second crime carried out by the Virginia State Bar is the cover-up of that crime. So I know members of the Virginia State Bar and other bar associations and members of the General Assembly, current members of the General Assembly, have attempted to kill me. And there have been court cases and cover-ups involving exclusively criminals. Like, all the police are criminals. They were involved. All members of the bar were involved. All judges, all members of the bar involved.
I wasn't involved.
And also members of the General Assembly. Why were they involved? Do you know who David Hicks is?
Of course I know who David Hicks is.
Okay, then why are you asking why he was involved? He's the string puller for Dwight Jones. Members of the Richmond City Democratic Committee, led by Tim Kaine, had tried to kill me through this guy named J.C. Wilmore, who's also a lawyer.
Chris, we cannot.
And then this was covered up. That's a crime. And what I'm saying is, the members of the Virginia State Bar exclusively carry out crimes. They don't do anything but carry out crimes. And lawyers under the Constitution are illegal.
Chris,
what do they call members of the Bar Association?
Members.
No. What's their title? When I go and look at the office holders, and sometimes they switch this up, but the last time I checked, they write the word Esquire, correct?
Yes.
That is a title of nobility. That is banned. And so we're talking about that there are no constitutional trials in the United States. That we don't need representatives in a court of law, and that lawyers only complicate things, and they do this in order to make money for themselves. And you are all part of the same criminal gang, and you all divvy up money yourselves. I can tell you, I don't tolerate nonsense from lawyers. I mean, I'm sure you know that. And every lawyer in the city who knows me knows that I don't tolerate, lawyer nonsense.
Chris,
so I know all the members of the Bar Association are criminals. And when they try to tell me that they are not, I have plenty of examples of crimes. It's funny. I mean, Paul Goldman, Joe Morrissey. They covered up the fact that all the Virginia elections are fraudulent. They did that themselves. Think about all the crimes Paul Goldman has committed. And I know Paul Goldman. I've told him this. I'll tell him it again. And Joe, he's not nearly as bad as Paul Goldman.
Chris, under Robert's Rule of Order, may I speak?
Hey, this is overtime. And I'm the worshipful Grand Master here. I have the floor until I give it to somebody else.
That's why I asked if I had permission to speak.
I can give you the floor. Go ahead.
Okay. I am not going to engage in gross generalizations.
No, I'm not. I never engage in gross generalizations.
Okay. Let me finish.
Right. Okay.
Okay. I think some lawyers are criminal. I think some lawyers are not criminal. And
you're a lawyer. You're a lawyer, so you're not going to say yourself that you're a criminal.
Just a minute.
But I say you're a member of a criminal organization.
Just a minute. I think some lawyers engage in the practice of law in order to take money from their clients and other people, and I think some lawyers do not do that.
Who doesn't? Tell me one lawyer who does not take money doing this.
I'm one. I have represented.
You don't take any money.
I've represented several people for the last 3 years for nothing, because they needed an attorney. and I didn't charge them one penny.
Okay, is that so? You don't charge any of your clients any money?
Some clients, yes. Some clients, no.
So you do pro bono work like all other lawyers, and then you charge money for others?
All lawyers don't do pro bono. Some lawyers do pro bono.
Some. All lawyers are criminal. There are no constitutional trials. There is no constitutional law in the United States. Yes.
No, not all lawyers are criminals. Some lawyers are criminals.
Okay, let's get into another thing. Okay, Karen Gould, you say she's a minion, correct? She's Jewish, correct?
No, I said she was the executive director of the Virginia State Bar, which is her position.
You also said she was a minion for the council.
I said she's the executive director and she's hired by the council.
You didn't use the word minion.
Not that I recall, but she is.
All right, we're gonna have to go back and.
I mean, I can't say that minion is not a wrong word. She works for the council, therefore she could be considered a minion. I'm not denying that word.
The report, report them. Karen Gould serves as a minion on the VSB council. Okay, so Karen Gould is a minion, but she is the executive director. She is Jewish, correct?
I don't know. I have no idea what her ethnic background is.
Come on.
No, I don't know her that
really?
well. I don't know her.
Is that how you guys think? You don't know? You don't know Karen? I know Karen Gould.
I know you do.
She knows me well.
I don't know Karen Gould. I know who she is.
You don't know Karen. How do you not know Karen Gould?
I know she's the executive director. I've never had any kind of friendship or interaction with her.
She's the executive director of the Virginia State Bar. How could you not have?
I've never.
All I can say is
I don't know anything about her background, her personal background. Nothing about her personal background.
She's Jewish.
Well, she might be. I don't know. I truly don't know.
Okay, she is. Okay. Well, that seems interesting because you kept telling me that, the vast majority are WASPs. And you say you don't know that Karen Gould is Jewish. Couldn't you be not recognizing other Jews and not knowing it?
No, because I did the demographics.
No.
Wait a minute.
Whoa, wait. Please.
Stop.
No.
Stop.
Go ahead.
Stop. I did the demographics of the council, not the state bar director. She's not a member of council. Council is elected across the state.
So you're compartmentalizing.
What?
You're compartmentalizing.
Well,
You're saying the council is different from the administrators?
Karen Gould is not a member.
Karen Gould is the executive director of the Virginia State Bar, and she's Jewish.
She's hired.
Right.
I don't know what ethnic race she is.
Right. Right. I know you keep saying you don't, but I'm telling you. So you do now know. I'm telling you.
Well, you told me.
She's Jewish, believe me.
I don't know it. You told me, but I don't know it.
Okay. Well, how about this? How about you try to prove me wrong and then see if I'm right? Do you think I'm right or do you think I'm wrong?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about her background.
So then probably, again, my next statement, this is another verification, because if you can't recognize Karen Gould as a Jew, then you won't be able to recognize any of the others because she's obviously a Jew.
I don't know that. And what difference does it make anyway?
You listen to the show, you tell me.
No, I
Jews
didn't
disproportionately have control over the money supply and every position in the government?
I do not know that as a fact.
You don't know that? Your son's a banker. Give me a break. You're a lawyer. Give me a break.
Well, my son is not Jewish.
And you tell me you can't recognize another Jew? Are you Jewish?
No.
I mean, have you done a 23andMe DNA test?
I'm not Jewish. My son's not Jewish. And
No.
I
I'm
don't
not talking about
understand
like
who's
whether
Jewish.
you celebrate Christmas or not. I'm talking about ethnic Jews, like Ashkenazi.
I don't have any idea that I have any Jewish in me.
Okay. I've gotten it tested. I do a lot of genealogical research, and I know for a fact about myself, but until I see others, I mean, and that's usually the biggest question, because if one is pretending that they are some sort of whistleblower and they're not going to acknowledge the fact that ethnic Jews are abundantly overrepresented in positions of authority in the United States government, in the Bar Association, in banking, and in every other government around the world, then one is disingenuous. They can't be that stupid. They can't be that stupid.
I cannot speak to that as fact.
Then my previous statement before your last statement stands. If you can't see that, I don't believe you. And
I didn't say I couldn't. I said I cannot speak to that because I can't verify that.
How can you not verify it?
Because I don't have the statistics. That's a statistical analysis.
Okay.
I don't have the
right. Sure.
I don't have the data.
Like, Jews make up 2% of the population of the United States. They make up 25% of the members of Congress. They make up what? Is it 35 or 40% of the Supreme Court? And actually, here's another thing, because I don't want to just stick on the Jews, because as of last year, as of 2016, the United States Supreme Court, you say it's WASPs who control the Bar Association, but as of 2016, there were no real Americans on the Supreme Court of America. There were only papists, Vatican papists, and Jews. And there seemed to be, that's still that same thing. You know that, don't you?
I can't agree with that, Chris, because I don't consider.
But it's not something you can agree to or not agree to. Let's go through them one by one.
Wait a minute, Chris. I do not look at people based on their ethnic background. I look at them as individuals.
It's not about looking at people based on their ethnic background. It's the fact that Americans are not represented in the American court. The Vatican is represented, and international Jewry is represented, and no Americans are represented. And that can't be disputed.
I can't agree with that.
Okay. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, is that a Jew or not a Jew?
I believe she's Jewish.
Okay. Can you name anyone on the Supreme Court who is not either Catholic or Jewish?
No, because I haven't analyzed that.
What do you think? What do you think the outcome of your analysis would be?
I think they would not be all Catholic or Jewish. But I don't know.
Let's see.
I mean, you got John Roberts. Is he Catholic or Jewish? I don't know.
I mean, you can keep naming them. Name them all if you want on the Supreme Court. All right. I think maybe the newest guy might pretend that he is some sort of Western European. Of course, John Roberts is a Western European as well. Demographics of the U.S. Supreme Court. Here we go. The shift to a majority Catholic and non-Protestant court is what this is. This is a Wikipedia article. Let's see. Okay, so we got John Roberts, Catholic. Anthony Kennedy, Catholic. Clarence Thomas, Catholic.
Don't think he's
Ruth
Jewish.
Bader Ginsburg, Jew. Stephen Breyer, Jew. Samuel Alito, Catholic.
That's
Sonia
right.
Sotomayor, alleged Catholic, but I think she's got Jew in her as well. Elena Kagan, Jew. And Neil Gorsuch, what do they say that guy is? I don't know. But he's the new guy replacing who? Alito. Not Scalia. Scalia, Catholic. So as I said before, as of 2016, all Jews and Catholics. Is what I said incorrect, Rhetta?
Well, I don't think so, because I don't think Roberts is Catholic.
John Roberts, let's look this up real quick, because that's fine. I like doing this. I like making a statement that I know is true and then having somebody question me and then be incorrect every time. Catholic. And when I say Catholic, you're familiar with the Red Mass, aren't you? Have you ever been participating in a Red Mass?
No.
Do you know what it is?
No.
Okay. Let's see. John Roberts, Catholic Connections. Let's see. He attended Church of the Little Flower, Maryland parish that heterodox Catholic would regard as an outpost of traditional Catholicism.
So what's wrong with that?
What's wrong with the Catholic Church?
No.
Do you not? You listen. I see you on the show all the time.
No, that's not my question. What is wrong with someone being a Catholic who's serving on the Supreme Court?
They represent not just one criminal association, the Supreme Court and the Bar Association, but they also represent another criminal entity, the Catholic Church.
I can't agree with that gross generalization.
What's not criminal about the Catholic Church?
I cannot agree with a gross generalization.
No, then it'd be, if it's a gross generalization, then it would be very easy for you to tell me what's not criminal about the Catholic Church.
No, because I haven't studied it. I have not.
Then how do you know it's a gross generalization? If you haven't studied it, you don't know it's not a gross generalization.
I cannot opine because I have not studied it.
I'm not talking about opining. I'm talking about it's my prima facie claim. I have plenty of evidence. I don't operate under these, bar association rules. I operate under the common law.
Chris, that's your perspective and your opinion. I can't join in it.
It's not my opinion. It's what I do.
But I understand that, but I haven't done it. I can't agree with you because I have not done that same study.
Oh, that's fine. Absolutely. I just read it all out to you. I mean,
but that doesn't mean
it's not a study. I mean, it's Wikipedia. I mean, and everybody knows it anyways. You telling me you don't know whether Karen Gould is Jewish or not?
I don't, and I don't know that Wikipedia is correct.
They are. I mean, sure. I mean, do you think Ruth Bader Ginsburg is not Jewish?
I think she is Jewish.
Yeah, okay. Do you think Clarence Thomas is not a Catholic? He is.
I don't know that he is.
Okay. Hey, well, we've got a comment here. We got a couple comments. All class action lawsuits are artificial. Muhammad says that. Rhetta is equivocating. Bill Johnson says that. And here Matt Papiska has something very interesting to say. The people need to know how to present and need no representation. Red coat traitors of the British Accredited Registry is treasonous. Maritime admiral law is unconstitutional. I think that goes beyond any British acquired registry. That's associated with the City of London and the Jacobite kings giving membership into the inner and middle temple, the Temple Bar in the City of London. That's where the Bar Association comes from. It goes well beyond that now, but maritime admiralty law, wherever I am, I'm standing on the land. So I don't abide by something that tries to turn me into a piece of cargo lost at sea. So would you agree that the way the court system operates is unconstitutional, since the common law is what is guaranteed to Americans, the American people?
Not in every state. Louisiana, for instance, is not under common law.
Yeah, Napoleonic Code. Hey, let's talk about Napoleonic Code, because under Napoleonic Code, you know where I'm going with this one, I presume. Napoleon, he was a pretty smart guy. And he said that Jews are considered guilty until proven innocent, and they called that the chicanery statute. That would clean up this government very quickly. So
Chris,
yeah, we can combine the common law with Napoleonic Code. Absolutely.
Chris, you're not going to get me to talk badly
I'm not
about
trying to get you to do anything.
No,
I'm making
no,
statements to
listen
you.
to me. Let me finish.
No, you see, again,
Listen to me.
I
If
have
you
the
want me to
authority
stay
here.
on, listen to me.
You don't.
If you want me to stay on, listen to me. I will not speak badly about
I don't
any
want
ethnic
anything.
group.
Oh, hold on. We got to talk about legal words here.
Right. And
I don't want for anything.
not-
Hold on a second, please.
I
I got to
will not
explain something
generalize,
important to you,
no.
Rhetta.
I will
Rhetta.
not generalize, and I will not
Rhetta.
speak badly about any race or any ethnic group. I just won't do that.
Rhetta, what is being done is this is broadcast live. So you don't have to tell me what you will or won't do. All you have to do is just display it. But what I will explain to you is I don't want anything. A man doesn't want for anything. God provides man everything that man wants. I have wishes and beliefs, but I want for nothing. I'm above any government agency.
I will not generalize, and I will not speak badly about any ethnic group or any race or any particular
Nobody's
people in
speaking
general.
badly about them. I'm speaking accurately, and you can respond however you like. So here we go. Does God create man? Did God create man?
According to the Bible.
That's the law book. That's the basis of the law in the United States, is the King James Bible, correct?
No,
How is that not correct?
because it's not the King James Bible that's the basis.
Okay, you must not listen very carefully to the show, because that's obvious that this is the case. What's the basis? What writer? I'll give you every hint that you could possibly need to answer and to prove that the King James Bible is the basis of the law of the land.
No.
What English philosopher is the Constitution of the United States based on? Whose
Actually, I think it
writings?
was the Magna Carta.
Fast forward about 400 years. What English philosopher's writings is the Constitution for the United States based on?
I really don't recall.
John Locke. I mean, so now that you hear that, you know that's true, correct?
Well,
John
I recall
Locke.
his name. I don't recall his writings.
Okay, well, his writings using English common law, which is the basis of the United States government, is English common law, correct or incorrect?
Incorrect.
The United States Constitution is not based on the common law, English common law. No. How is that not based on the English common law?
Not for the entire United States, because Louisiana has nothing to do with
I'm talking about the
English common law.
Constitution for the United States. How many times is the word common law mentioned in the Constitution for the United States? More than once? Many times. Many times. Right. So, as we established, and not only is it just mentioned, it is the basis of all of it. And English common law is based on the King James Version of the Bible. Do you disagree?
Yes.
Please tell me how, because you unequivocally disagree with this and you're wrong. But go ahead.
Because I think the Magna Carta
You think?
Yes, it's my opinion the Magna Carta was the basis for what now is considered to be part of the constitutional law of the United States.
All right, but it's not. You can do a quick.
Okay,
here we go. Foundations for America. Foundations for America. In his second treatise on government, Locke identified the basis of a legitimate government. According to Locke, a ruler gains authority through the consent of the governed. The duty of that government is to protect the natural rights of the people, which Locke believed to be life, liberty, and the pursuit of property, which is in Virginia Constitution, which is the basis of U.S. Constitution. Let's see, foundations of government. John Locke, true father of U.S. Constitution. John Locke, the Social Compact and the Founding Fathers. I mean, what I will say is if you look up the words John Locke and the founders of the United States, that basically not only is the Declaration of Independence plagiarism, Thomas Jefferson took entire parts of the writings of John Locke and two treatises on government and of Independence, which is the. I lost Rhetta. All right, we lost Rhetta. Hey, Mitch Brown. Hey, no. It's not enjoyable. This is not for anybody's enjoyment. We're in overtime, man. This is all gravy. I stayed on the line to expose a member of the criminal Virginia State Bar Association, and we just did that. We got Clifford on the line. We got David on the chat. Amanda's probably pretty angry with me, and I don't blame her. Clifford, we're gonna shut the show down. Any last final thoughts?
It's probably time to shut the show down, but as always, I mean, as I say, it's our right to abolish criminal government and duty as long as we do it. I mean, Rhetta Daniels seemed like she was pulling and had relatives, at least from what I saw. I was dealing with some salesmen trying to scam me, and luckily my roommate helped me out. Falling for some local psyop, but I'll talk to you about that later.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot, Cliff. Hey, we're signing off. Thanks for tuning in to the long show tonight. Hey, peace and God bless.